From space, it looks like a green ocean. 2.7 million square miles of canopy. Larger than the continental United States, holding more fresh water than the next 7 rivers combined. A forest so dense that rain takes 10 minutes to reach the ground. This is the Amazon. Scarlet macaws cut through the treetops like thrown paint, while howler monkeys call across 5 kilometers of green. A dolphin, born gray, turned rose by blood vessels beneath the skin. Everything here is louder, wetter, more alive than it has any right to be. But below the surface, eyes watch. A black caiman floats with only its nostrils above water as an anaconda lies coiled in the shallows, its skin indistinguishable from rotting wood. Neither has moved in hours. Neither needs to. The Amazon does not attack. It waits. This is the most dangerous paradise on Earth, where beauty and peril share the same water. And the only rule that matters is one the forest wrote long before we arrived. The sound arrives first. A low hum that seems to come from everywhere. Insects, frogs, birds, all layered into a single vibrating wall of noise. Then the canopy opens and Yasuní appears, the most biodiverse place on Earth. 10,227 square kilometers of lowland rainforest, pressed against the Andes foothills in eastern Ecuador. 3,800 millimeters of rain fall here each year, 10 feet of water. The canopy is so dense that a downpour needs 10 minutes to hit the floor. The air holds 90% humidity. Clothes never dry. The forest breathes wet. Start at the forest floor. 1 hectare here, roughly 2 football fields, holds 655 tree species. More than the United States and Canada combined. The ground moves. Leafcutter ants carry pieces of green along highways they have carved through the mud. A column of army ants clears everything in its path, and birds follow close behind, picking off whatever flees. Poison dart frogs sit motionless on fallen logs, their colors so bright they look painted. A warning that needs no translation. Follow the trail down slope, and the ground turns soft. The rivers run brown with sediment. Dugout canoes slide between buttress roots taller than houses. Local guides paddle standing up, reading the current by the way leaves spin on the surface. They do not use maps. The forest is the map. They know which vines hold water, which leaves stop bleeding, which trails the jaguar walked last night climb higher. Observation towers rise 40 meters into the air, and from there the green stretches unbroken to the horizon. An ocean of chlorophyll interrupted only by the occasional emergent tree pushing above its neighbors. Toucans cross in pairs, spider monkeys swing below them, and somewhere in the tallest kapok, a harpy eagle tracks movement below with talons the size of grizzly bear claws. But this forest holds something rarer than wildlife. 2 groups still live here without contact with the outside world, the Tagaeri and the Taromanane. Ecuador has drawn a line around their territory and called it an intangible zone. No roads. No oil wells. No visitors. The boundary exists on maps, but in the forest, the only markers are the ones they leave themselves. crossed spears at the edge of clearings, a warning to anyone who can read it. Yasuní does not advertise its dangers. 655 species per hectare means 655 ways the forest has learned to survive, and not all of them welcome visitors. The invitation here is real. The safety is yours to earn. The water is black. Not dirty, stained dark as tea by tannins leaching from the forest floor. A canoe slides through it without sound, the paddle entering and leaving like a hand through silk. This is Cuyabeno, Ecuador's flooded forest, where water is the only road. 2,300 square miles of jungle sit at the edge of the Andes, lower and wetter than almost anywhere else in the upper Amazon. The land here barely rises above 650 feet. 10 feet of rain fall each year. The air stays damp year-round. In the wet season, the Cuyabeno River spills over its banks and the forest floor vanishes, water rising 16 feet. Turning trees into islands and canoes into the only way forward. 14 lagoons form in this flood. The largest, Laguna Grande, stretches wide enough to lose the shore. Pink dolphins appear without warning, gray at birth, flushed rose as they age, their dorsal fins barely breaking the black mirror. Giant otters patrol the shallows in family groups, their calls sharp and urgent across the water. Anacondas coil in the roots of flooded trees, waiting for something warm-blooded to swim past. 10 species of monkeys swing through the canopy above, dropping fruit into the water below. More than 500 species of birds nest in trees that spend half the year underwater. But Cuyabeno saves its true face for nightfall. The canoe drifts. The guide cuts the motor. A flashlight sweeps the waterline, and the darkness answers back. Dozens of red points, paired and unblinking. Caiman eyes. They glow because of a reflective layer behind the retina. The same adaptation that lets them hunt in near total darkness. They have been watching since you arrived. They will still be watching when you leave. The water that carries you through this place also hides what lives beneath it. In Cuyabeno, every ripple masks the sky, and every reflection has something looking back. Nothing moves here. Not the air, not the water, not the shape coiled in the roots. It hangs thick with moisture, heavy enough to taste. Water drips from every surface, from the waxy leaves overhead, from the moss blanketing the buttress roots, from the ferns that uncurl in slow motion along the riverbank. The forest floor is not solid. It is a sponge of rotting leaves and waterlogged soil. Soft enough to swallow a boot to the ankle. This is where the Amazon's two greatest predators make their home. The green anaconda and the black caiman, share these submerged shallows. And between them, they have ruled this water for 60 million years. The anaconda does not chase, it waits. Coiled among the submerged roots of ceiba trees, its mottled skin blends perfectly with the tangle of vegetation and decay. A full-grown female can stretch 25 feet and weigh over 500 pounds. She is the largest snake in the Western Hemisphere by mass. Her jaws do not crush, they grip, locking prey in place, while her coils tighten with 90 pounds of pressure per square inch. She can sense the heartbeat of a passing capybara through the water. She can hold her breath for 49 minutes. And when mating season ends, she sometimes eats the males who bred with her. The calories matter more than the company. The black caiman hunts differently. Where the anaconda is patient, the caiman is explosive. It drifts without moving in water stained brown by tannins, only its nostrils and eyes above the surface, a log that waits. Then it moves. The strike takes less than a second. Its jaws generate 3,000 pounds of pressure per square inch, enough to crush bone like chalk. Since 2014, researchers have documented 66 attacks on humans across the Amazon basin. 19 were fatal. Most victims never saw the caiman before it hit. These two predators do not compete. The anaconda takes what comes to the water's edge: deer, peccaries, the occasional jaguar. The caiman takes what swims. They share the same territory because they hunt different prey in different ways at different hours. The forest is wet enough to feed them both. Above to the waterline, bromeliads collect rain in their waxy cups, tiny ponds suspended in the canopy. Orchids root directly onto bark, pulling moisture from air that never dries. Lianas twist between trees like frozen rivers. Everything here grows toward water or holds it close. And in the shallows below, two shapes remain still. One is a log, one is not. In the Amazon, knowing the difference is the only thing that keeps you out of the food chain. The forest floats. During the wet season, water rises 40 feet and swallows everything below the canopy. Trees stand rooted in rivers. Branches become shorelines. The only way forward is by canoe. Routes their ancestors paddled for 4,000 years before Peru drew a line on paper and called this place a reserve. Pacaya Samiria, the largest protected wetland forest in the Amazon, 8,000 square miles of jungle in northeastern Peru. Locals call it the jungle of mirrors, and when you drift through it at dawn, you understand why. The water is so still that the sky appears twice, once above, once below. Trees grow upward and downward at the same time. A heron takes flight, and its reflection rises to meet it. Mist hangs between the trunks like wet gauze, and the wet never lifts. 85% minimum. Your skin stays damp. Your clothes cling. The air itself feels thick enough to wring. 80 to 120 inches of rain hit this forest each year, feeding two river systems that merge at the western edge of the basin to form the Amazon itself. The forest floor spends months submerged. Aguaje palms grow in standing swamps, their roots permanently submerged. their fruit feeding everything from macaws to manatees. Victoria water lilies spread across oxbow lakes with leaves 6 feet wide, strong enough to hold a child, rimmed with spines sharp enough to draw blood. Ceiba trees rise 180 feet, their buttress roots fanning out like the walls of a cathedral. Draped in lianas and orchids and bromeliads that drink the rain before it ever reaches the ground. Moss carpets every surface that holds still long enough. More than 1,000 vertebrate species live in this maze. Pink dolphins, giant otters, black caimans, jaguars, three-toed sloths, and 500 kinds of birds that nest in branches submerged for months. This is not wilderness preserved under glass. It is a working forest shaped by water and the people who learn to live with it. The mirror reflects both. Everything here is in motion: the water, the sediment, the shoreline itself. 4,000 miles of river draining a basin larger than Western Europe. The Amazon does not flow. It migrates. During the wet season, it swells 30 to 40 feet, spilling across its floodplain until the main channel stretches 30 miles wide. During the dry season, it retreats, exposing sandbars and beaches that will vanish again in 6 months. The river is never the same place twice. The water runs brown with sediment. 400 million tons of Andean soil washing toward the Atlantic every year. This is not pollution. This is the Amazon rewriting the landscape, depositing nutrients that feed the submerged forests, building islands that appear and disappear with the seasons. Near Manaus, the river splits into 2 colors. The tea-dark Negro flows alongside the pale brown Solomos for nearly 4 miles without mixing. Different temperatures, different speeds, different chemistry holding them apart like oil and water. Locals call it the meeting of waters. Scientists call it a confluence. Both are underselling it. Floating meadows drift past, mats of water hyacinth, and grasses torn loose by the current, carrying insects, frogs, and sometimes snakes to wherever the river decides to take them. Giant water lilies root in the shallows. Submerged trees become highways for fish. The Varzea forest drowns for months each year. Its floor a riverbed, its canopy a shoreline. And twice a year, the ocean fights back. 4,000 miles and not a single bridge. The Amazon does not bend to human plans. It writes its own. You do not find the jaguar. The jaguar decides whether you see it. It moves through the flooded forest like smoke through water. 200 pounds of muscle wrapped in a coat designed to vanish. The rosettes break up its outline against the dappled light filtering through the branches overhead. One moment it is there, crouched on a branch overhanging the river. The next, it is gone. The only proof it existed is a ripple spreading across the waterline where it entered without a splash. This is the largest cat in the Americas, the 3rd largest on Earth. Males can stretch 6 feet from nose to tail base and weigh over 300 pounds. But size is not what makes the jaguar terrifying. It is the jaws that end things. 1,500 pounds per square inch. That is the bite force, the strongest of any big cat, nearly double a tiger's. Lions and tigers kill by clamping the throat and waiting for suffocation. The jaguar does not wait. It bites directly through the skull between the ears, piercing the temporal bone and driving its 2-inch canines into the brain. Death is instant. This technique works on capybaras, on deer, on caimans, whose armored hides would stop any other predator. It works on anything. The jaguar swims better than it runs. It crosses rivers that would stop a leopard, hunts along inundated banks where moss drips from every root and the understory grows thick with ferns and heliconia. Researchers have tracked individuals swimming over 3 miles without rest. There are roughly 173,000 jaguars left in the wild, most in Brazil, many in the Amazon and Pantanal. That sounds like a lot until you learn there are fewer than 4,000 wild tigers on Earth. The jaguar is not endangered the way the tiger is, but the forest is shrinking. And the jaguar does not ask permission to follow its prey, even when that prey crosses into cattle ranches, even when humans are watching. In the Amazon, every animal fears something. The jaguar fears nothing. And that difference keeps the entire forest in line. Near Manaus, the dark waters of the Rio Negro meet the pale brown Solimões, and for nearly 4 miles, they flow side by side without mixing. One side black as steeped tea, blackened by acids leaching from rotting leaves upstream. The other the color of coffee with milk, clouded by sediment washing down from the Andes. Stand in a boat at the confluence, and you can dip one hand into water that feels warm, the other into water 11 degrees cooler. The difference is instant. The boundary is real. This is the Encontro das Aguas, the meeting of waters. Rivers merge. That is what rivers do. But these two have spent millions of years developing such different chemistry that they cannot blend on contact. The Rio Negro drifts without urgency, barely over 1 mile per hour, warm and acidic enough to kill mosquito larvae before they hatch. The Solimões races 3 times faster, cold and dense with silt. When they collide, neither yields. The warm water floats, the cold water sinks, the fast current slides past the slow one. For 4 miles, physics holds them apart. The riverbanks tell 2 stories. Along the Negro, submerged forests called igapo stretch into the black water, their roots tangled with fallen leaves that steep like tea. Along the Solimões, the Várzea forests rise from pale mud, their banks crowded with farms and villages. More people live along the brown water, more fish spawn in the black. Fishermen work both sides. On the Negro, they cast nets for tucunaré and pirarucu in water so clear they can see the fish circling below. On the Solimões, they drag seines through murky current, pulling up catfish they never saw coming. Same river, same rain, different catch. And they have learned which water to trust for which meal. 37 miles downstream, the two have fully merged into what the world calls the Amazon. But locals know the truth. The river that reaches the Atlantic is not one thing. It is 2 things that learned, over distance, to stop resisting. 2 worlds, flowing side by side, neither willing to become the other. That is the Amazon in a single image. It rises unannounced, a flash of pink in black water. The boto, the Amazon River dolphin, is the largest freshwater dolphin on Earth. Males stretch over 8 feet long and weigh more than 400 pounds. They are born gray. They turn pink with age. The color is not pigment. It is blood. Capillaries run close to the surface of the skin, flushing visible through translucent tissue. The same mechanism that makes humans blush. When a boto is excited, when it fights, when it chases prey through flooded forest, the pink deepens. The older the dolphin, the more scars it carries from mating battles and territorial disputes, and the pinker it becomes. A pale gray juvenile. A rose-colored elder. You can read their lives on their skin. Unlike ocean dolphins, the boto has unfused neck vertebrae. It can turn its head 90 degrees in either direction, pivoting between submerged tree trunks, threading through branches no marine dolphin could navigate. It hunts in the treetops when the forest floods, water warm and thick with tannins. It slips into channels too narrow for boats to follow, where the wet never lifts. In village folklore, the boto is not just an animal. It is an encantado, a shapeshifter. The stories say it rises from the river at night, transformed into a handsome man dressed in white, a hat pulled low to hide the blowhole that never fully disappears. It attends festivals. It dances. It seduces women and returns to the water before dawn. Children born without known fathers are still sometimes called filhos do boto, children of the dolphin. The legend protected them for generations. Killing a boto meant a lifetime of bad luck. Even making eye contact was said to curse you with nightmares. But in 2018, the species was listed as endangered. Fishing nets. Mercury from illegal gold mines. Habitat carved away mile by mile. The old taboos are fading faster than the forest. The boto still appears, still flashes pink against black water. But there are fewer of them now. And fewer people who remember why they should not look away. Voices vanish in 30 feet, swallowed by water and leaves before they can travel. Anavilhana stretches 80 miles down the Rio Negro, a labyrinth of more than 400 islands braided through black water. During the dry months, white sand beaches emerge between the trees, bright against the dark current. But when the rains come, months of downpour draining from the Andes, the river rises 26 to 40 feet, and the islands vanish. Only the crowns of the tallest trees break the surface. The forest floor becomes a riverbed. What was land is now water. The moisture thickens until the air feels like cloth. This is the second largest river archipelago on Earth, 400 islands that spend 6 months submerged. Beneath the submerged canopy, the water stays warm, thick with dissolved tannins, acidic enough to slow decay, but rich enough to sustain life. Fish that spend most of the year in open channels swim inland when the floods arrive, threading between submerged trunks to feed on fallen fruit and insects. they come to breed. The roots and branches form a nursery, shelter from larger predators, food dropping from above, water too shallow for anything big to follow. More than 360 species of fish have been recorded here, 82% of all species known in the Rio Negro. Among them is the largest concentration of electric fish anywhere on the planet. They navigate the black current by generating their own fields, sensing prey and obstacles through pulses invisible to everything else. Giant otters hunt in family groups along the flooded margins, 6 feet long, loud, coordinated. They work together to corner fish against submerged roots, the same roots that protect the young of other species. The system feeds itself. Predators and prey. Shelter and exposure. Flood and retreat. When the water drops, the beaches return. The trees stand exposed again, roots caked in black silt, bark still damp from months underwater. And the fish that survived carry the next generation back into the channels, seeds scattered by a river that writes its own calendar. The water here carries soil. Andean sediment pushed 1,000 miles from the highlands, dyeing everything it touches brown. Mamarawa sits where the Solomos and Japura rivers meet, a triangle of inundated forest covering more than 4,000 square miles. This is Várzea, whitewater floodplain fed by nutrient-rich rivers that carry Andean soil thousands of miles into the lowlands. The trees grow taller here. The fish grow larger. The soil, when it appears, actually holds crops. The air hangs wet and heavy, saturated even before the floods arrive. But for most of the year, the Kinselom, there is no soil to stand on. The water rises 33 to 40 feet between dry season and peak flood. In May and June, the forest becomes an ocean. Only the highest branches stay above water. Everything that cannot swim must climb. Jaguars here are smaller than their cousins elsewhere in the Amazon, half the size, some researchers say. They have learned to live in the trees, hunting from above, waiting out months of water. Capybaras swim below. Caimans float between the trunks. The jaguar waits on a branch, patient, and drops. The white uakari lives nowhere else on Earth. A monkey with a bright red face, bare as sunburn, and long white fur that makes it look like something from a fever dream. It moves through the treetops in groups of 20 or more, feeding on unripe seeds that nothing else can digest. When the forest floods, the uakari, he stays in the trees. When the water drops, it stays in the trees. It has never needed the ground. More than 6,000 people live inside the reserve. Ribeirinhos, Ticuna, Cambeba, Cocama. They fish when the water is low. They farm the floodplain when it dries. They built their houses on stilts and their lives around the pulse of the river. Their children learned to swim before they learned to walk. Mamarawa was Brazil's first sustainable development reserve. Not a park where people are locked out. A place where people and forest negotiate the same water, the same seasons, the same rising and falling that has shaped everything here for longer than anyone can count. in a place where everything runs, hunts, and bites. One creature chose the opposite, to do nothing at all. The three-toed sloth moves at 13 feet per minute, when it moves at all. Most of the time, it hangs motionless, arms locked around a branch, fur damp with the humidity that never lifts. Its muscles make up only a quarter of its body weight, half what most mammals carry. It has no speed, no strength, no venom, no armor. And yet it survives. The secret is stillness. Harpy eagles hunt by sight, scanning the branches for motion. Jaguars track movement through the trees. Ocelots listen for rustling. The sloth gives them nothing. It hangs like a clump of leaves, breathing so slowly its chest barely rises, digesting a single meal for weeks at a time. Its stomach, when full, can hold a third of its body weight, food breaking down at the slowest rate of any mammal on Earth. And then there is the fur. Each hair has grooves that trap moisture, and in that moisture, algae grows. The sloth turns green. Fungi spread. Moths move in. An entire species, Cryptosis colepi, lives nowhere else. When the sloth descends once a week to defecate, the moths follow. They lay eggs in the dung. Their larvae feed there until they mature, then fly back up to find another sloth. The cycle repeats. The sloth becomes a walking ecosystem, carrying its own food web through the trees. When the floods come, the sloth does not panic. It swims. Its arms, 50% longer than its legs, pull through the water with surprising strength. It has been seen crossing rivers, fur trailing behind like wet moss, moving between trees that the rising water has cut off from the forest. It slowed down until it disappeared. And in the Amazon, where everything is trying to eat everything else, that was enough. Before dawn, the forest is already loud. The howler monkeys start first, a deep, guttural roar that rolls through the canopy and reaches 3 miles in every direction, cutting through air still thick from last night's rain. They are the loudest land animals in the Western Hemisphere. Not by muscle or lung, but by bone. The hyoid in their throat, the largest relative to body size of any mammal, acts as a resonating chamber, amplifying every call into something that sounds less like a monkey and more like wind through a tunnel. They howl at dawn to mark territory. They howl at dusk to confirm it. And in between, they rest, spending 80% of their day doing nothing at all, conserving the little energy their leaf-heavy diet provides. Then the macaws arrive. Scarlet macaws, 3 feet from beak to tail, wings flashing red and yellow and blue as they descend toward the riverbank. They come for the clay, exposed seams of mineral-rich soil that line the water's edge. Sodium is scarce this far from the ocean, and the seeds and fruits they eat carry toxins that need neutralizing. The clay does both. Hundreds gather at once, clinging to the damp bank, scraping at the dirt with beaks strong enough to crack coconuts. Their calls cut through the treetops in sharp, raspy shrieks. Where the howler claims space with volume, the macaw claims it with color. Feathers so bright they seem designed to be seen, not hidden. 2 strategies, 1 forest. The howler disappears into sound. The macaw refuses to disappear at all. And every morning, before the sun clears the trees, both announce that this part of the Amazon is already taken. The sound is still there. The hum of insects, the drip of water, the rustle of something moving just out of sight. Across 2.5 million square miles, the Amazon is breathing, wet, alive, indifferent to whether we are listening. Nothing here waits for permission. The river rises on its own schedule. The jaguar hunts when it chooses. The forest grows over everything we leave behind. When we look at the Amazon, we are not just looking at trees and water. We are looking at a system older than human memory, one that does not need us, but has shaped us anyway. If you ever set foot in this endless green, would you rather paddle through the flooded forest of Mamarawa, or stand on the summit of Roraima and look down at the clouds? Let us know. Thank you for traveling with us through every mile of this expedition. Your time means everything to us. God bless you. God bless your family. And God bless every path you take. If this journey touched your heart, share it with your family, your friends, anyone who deserves to experience this. Subscribe and join us for the next one. We have special gifts waiting for you down the road.